I'll talk about that. Just hang in. Okay, so we're plugging the equation in to Desmos. So now we're going to pull it to the right. And we got almost the whole equation in. And then we're going to go plus. Where's my plus? Plus. And then it says 4x. So 4. And then x. And then it's squared. So we're going to go AB right there. AB. It's going to put it up. Right. And I'm going to go square. I'm going to go square. Okay. And so that's your function right there. Right. And we can zoom in. Right, and see where it's crossing, okay? All right, and we're going to use those values to pick out our values, okay? So we're just going to set that aside, okay? And now we're going to figure out what the values are that cross. Remember, we're looking for what crosses. So it looks like -4, it crosses. Does that make sense? Okay? So you see that? -4, it crosses the x axis, and that is a 0. Okay? So that -4 is a 0. That is an answer. We're across the -4. Okay? That is an answer. That's one of the answers we're looking for. Now we're going to see all the possible answers there are. Okay? So we can't factor this. Okay? The only way we graph it is on our calculator. Okay? So, but we want to use an R over S, and these are our zeros. This is called the theorem of algebra. What is it? Rational zeros test. Fundamental theorem of algebra. Okay, and what this does is it lets us know that all the possible zeros. Doesn't tell us the exact zeros of them. So then we have to cross-reference it with the graph, okay? So the R value, okay, the R value is the last coefficient. That's this guy. That's 4. That's R. Okay? And the S, well, that's this guy. The first coefficient, okay? But it's all the factors of those. So all the R's are going to be 4, right? 2, and so 4, 2, and 1, right? 4, 2, and 1. That's your R's, okay? Because 4 times 1 is 4, and 2 times 2 is 4, right? So those are your factors of 4, okay? Now my factor of S is pretty simple. It's just S, it's just 2 and 1. Does that make sense? So basically, my R over S is going to equal either 4 over 2 or 4 over 1. Okay? And then it could also equal 2 over 2, or 2 over 1, or 1 over 2, or 1 over 1. Now, just so you know, these are where these are all the red. Okay? So I'm just doing all the possibilities. There's 2 possibilities for S's, so there's 2 possibilities for a 4. There's 2 possibilities for the S's, so there's 2 possibilities for the 2. There's 2 possibilities for the S's, so there's 2 possibilities for the 1. Does everyone understand that? Okay? And then we're going to reduce it. So our possible, and this is only the possible, it's not the actual, okay? The possible zeros are, what's 4 divided by 2? 2. Oh, by the way, this is plus or minus on all of these. So, no. This is plus or minus on all of these, right? Yeah. Plus or minus, plus or minus, plus or minus, plus or minus, plus or minus. Okay. So it's a lot. Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of possibilities, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's It's 2 plus or minus 2, right? It's plus or minus 4, right? It's plus or minus 1, right? It's plus or minus 2, right? But that's already here, so I don't have to write it. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay? And then plus or minus 1/2, and then plus or minus 1, which is already there also. Okay? So those are all the possibilities. Okay?
That's how you figure that out?
Yeah. And then you look at this calculator and you see where is it crossing. And it looks like it's crossing at 0. It's crossing at -4. So right now we're going, okay, so it crosses at, and none of these are 0, right? None of these came out to be 0. Why is it cross at 0? If none of these came out to be 0.
You just did plus or minus.
Remember, what's your first factor of this? I can pull out an x squared, right? And then what happens?
You cancel out.
Then I get 2x to the third plus 5x to the second minus 11x to the third, or sorry, to the first plus 4. Now it's still going to be this and this, right? My r's. But this is also a solution. So remember, x squared should equal 0, and what does that equal?
0.
Yeah, x equals 0. So that's a definite solution that we already know. So we know 1 0, our zeros are, right off the bat, we know it's going to be 0. Okay? Then we look at this graph, and I'm like, oh, -4. That was pretty easy. So we have a -4. It doesn't look like I have a +4. It looks like a 0. Then it comes over again and it crosses at 1. So it looks like a +1. Right? And then I come over and it crosses at 1/2. So actually the first part it crossed at was 1/2, and then it crossed at 1. Okay? And so that's all your possible zeros. Those are your zeros. And when I check it with the book, problem number 5. Sorry.
So this is like a different way?
Yes. Okay. So you cross-reference it, and it says -4, 0, 1, and 1/2. Boom, baby. We did it. Okay? So that's how you do the zeros for things we cannot factor. Anything you cannot factor, this is what you have to do. Unfortunately, there's only 2 ways to actually find the answer. 1, graph it. 2, plug them in and see if they work. That's a lot of numbers to plug in and see if they work in a really nasty problem, okay? Back in my day, we had to plug it in and see if it worked. We didn't have great calculators like this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay? All right, now we're going to